So get ready because we are diving deep into basketball history today. We are rewinding all the way back to 1979 to a game. It wasn't just about like points on a scoreboard, you know?
Right.
This was like the big bang for basketball. Michigan State versus Indiana State, Magic versus Bird.
It's really fascinating how this game became this huge cultural phenomenon.
It really is.
And you're right, it was more than just a game.
It's kind of wild to think about, right? You know, like imagine trying to convince someone back then that this one college game, right, would change how we watch basketball forever.
It's true. Yeah. And in 1979, the NBA was having a hard time filling seats.
Really?
Yeah, they were averaging about 10,000 fans a game.
Okay.
Which, you know, it sounds like a lot, but...
That's still a lot of people.
It is, but compared to today's figures, it's nothing.
Wow, I had no idea it was that bad.
Yeah, it was rough.
No wonder they needed a boost.
Exactly. And on top of that, major networks weren't really giving basketball the time of day. It wasn't must-see TV.
You know where all I get is now.
No, not at all.
And then this game comes along, and the timing was perfect. Perfectly timed with the rise of cable TV.
Oh, absolutely.
Speaking of which, picture this. A world with very few channels, and bam! ESPN bursts onto the scene. In this game, this is here Magic and Bird. Such captivating personality. I know it was perfect for this new era of sports coverage. It was like destiny. It's like they say timing is everything.
It really is.
And speaking of timing, the NCAA tournament itself.
Yeah.
It wasn't the guaranteed moneymaker it is today. It had grown in popularity for sure.
Okay.
But there was no predicting that it would become this massive single elimination spectacle that we know today. It's mind-blowing to think that this one matchup with these two future icons would not only ignite a passion for college basketball,
Right.
but also breathe new life into the NBA and launch ESPN, the longest sports broadcasting empire. Incredible.
This wasn't just a game.
Yeah.
It was a cultural earthquake.
It really was.
And to really understand its impact, we need to transport ourselves back to 1979.
Okay, so paint the picture for us. What was it like back then? What led up to this epic showdown? Okay, so we're talking 1979, you know, the dawn of cable TV, the NBA is kind of, you know, trying to stay afloat.
Yeah.
And then here come these two forces of nature, Magic and Bird.
They were incredible.
Just their names alone are legendary. And their contrasting styles, both on and off the court, it just added fuel to that fire.
Oh, absolutely. It's like you almost couldn't script it better.
It really is like a classic sports movie waiting to happen. You got Magic, the charismatic showman lighting up the court with no look passes, and that infectious smile.
Yeah,
He was a star from day one, even signing autographs in grade school.
Oh, I believe it. What a showman.
And then you've got Larry Bird, this quiet, almost mysterious talent.
Right.
Who just let his game do the talking, seemed content to play ball, get his degree, and just stay on the spotlight.
He really did.
He actually had an agreement with his coach at Indiana State.
He did?
That he wouldn't talk to the press.
Can you imagine that today?
Can you imagine that happening today?
No.
In this age of social media and
It's a different world.
constant self-promotion, it's wild.
I know.
It's unbelievable.
And it just added to the mystique.
It really did.
You know, he wasn't seeking fame. He wasn't seeking attention. He just wanted to play.
He just wanted to win.
Exactly.
Speaking of Bird's like unique path to the NBA, did you know that he was actually drafted
I did hear that.
by the Boston Celtics while he was out playing golf?
No, it's crazy, right?
Bird didn't even know.
While he was out playing golf.
That's incredible.
Oh, yeah, and he had no idea.
It just highlights how different things were back then.
Totally.
Today, the NBA draft is this huge spectacle, and back then, it's just like whatever.
Yeah, it wasn't as big of a deal back then, no.
And here's Bird, this like future Hall of Famer, just casually playing golf when he gets drafted by one of the most storied franchises in basketball. It's
Unbelievable.
It really is. But it just speaks to his character, you know, to his quiet determination or like almost a reluctance to embrace the limelight.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's really interesting how their contrasting personalities weren't just for show. They manifested in their playing styles too.
Exactly.
So how did B's different personalities actually translate onto the court? Break it down for us.
Magic was the ultimate teammate, even back then. It wasn't about him. It was about making everyone around him better. He elevated the entire team with his passing, his vision, his pure joy for the game.
Those no-look passes, oh yeah. The way he'd find his teammates cutting to the basket was like magic.
It was like magic.
It really was.
And then you have Bird, this incredible drive.
Right.
Almost a chip on his shoulder. You know, he played with this intensity, this focus.
Yeah.
That was mesmerizing to watch.
Yeah. I can only imagine like the electricity in the air when those two teams finally faced off.
Man, I bet.
It was incredible. A clash of style. Yeah. It was a battle for basketball supremacy. And beyond just like the final score, it was a game that transcended sports and captivated the nation. Okay. So the stage is set. It's 1979. The NBA is like desperate for a win.
Totally.
Cable TV is the new kid on the block. The NCAA tournament is about to like explode. And at the center of it all, you've got these two titans, Magic and Bird,
I know, it's amazing.
but they're completely different styles.
Yeah.
Their magnetic personalities were larger than life. The height must have been unbelievable.
Oh, absolutely. And you can't forget about the whole David versus Goliath thing.
Yeah, you've got Michigan State, this powerhouse program, going up against Indiana State, the ultimate underdog. Nobody thought they would make it that far. Everyone loves a Cinderella story.
I know, right?
And in a single elimination tournament like March Madness, anything can happen.
Oh, absolutely. It's true. Anything.
So the stakes must have been even higher.
Oh, for sure.
So tell me, how did the game actually unfold? Was it a nail biter? Was it a blowout?
It was a tense one, back and forth.
Mhm.
The lead changed a bunch of times. Both teams were playing so hard. But in the end, Michigan State squeaked out a victory.
They won 75-64.
Yep.
I bet the energy in that arena was electric.
Oh, man. It was unbelievable. This wasn't just a game at this point. Yeah, it was like a cultural event.
Man, I bet.
And the viewership reflected that, right?
Absolutely. To this day, it still holds the record for any basketball game ever, college or professional, higher than any NBA finals.
That's crazy.
Any championship game you can think of.
Wow.
That's how big this game was.
That is incredible.
I know, it's amazing.
So this one game broadcast on this like brand new cable channel captivated the entire country.
It's like they tapped into something truly special.
They really did. And the impact of this game went way beyond just that one night.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
It launched a golden age for college basketball.
It did.
Attendance went through the roof. TV deals were massive, and the NBA, which had been struggling for a while, got a much-needed boost.
It's like this game single-handedly revitalized the whole sport.
It's really pretty amazing.
It's incredible, and it's amazing to think about the legacy that this one game left behind.
It is. It really is. It made the NCAA tournament what it is today, a stone-cold spectacle.
And ESPN rode that wave of March Madness and became the giant it is today.
It's hard to imagine the sports world without ESPN now.
I know, it's everywhere.
It's inescapable.
I know, and it's all thanks to that magical night in '79. But it goes way beyond just television.
Really?
This game changed how we talk about basketball,
Yep.
how we look at rivalries, how we think about underdogs.
It's amazing how one game can have such a profound impact. Well, not just on the sport itself, but on our culture as a whole.
I know, it really makes you think, like, what if Magic had gone pro
Right.
after his freshman year?
He considered it.
I know, would basketball be the same today?
It's a really interesting thought experiment
It really is.
because it speaks to like the power of timing, timing chance, the unpredictable nature of history.
I know it's not just about two talented players.
Right.
It's about the right place, the right time. It's a story that connected with millions of people.
It reminds us that some of the biggest moments in history come down to like these little details.
It makes you think about other like big bang moment in sports and other fields. What events happened that totally changed everything after? It's so interesting to think about. How do those events still affect us today? We will leave it there for today. We look forward to catching you all on our next episode when we start to dig into the recruitment of Magic Johnson in his high school career. Until next time, leave us a rating or review or submit a question via text message. Until next time.